Good day and welcome to Smart PTT. My name is David Palm and I'm going to be going through some radios to show you today, as well as give you some history and some knowledge about Smart PTT and how these SIM card two-way radios work. Well, let's get started. First of all, I'm going to show you our Smart PTT, the T529A. And what's quite unique about this device, as you can see, it's an entry level for your security guard two-way radios. What's nice about the device is, if you can see on the side of the radio, you've got your PTT button. Your top button over there is your SOS panic button, and then your other bottom buttons is to change the groups or select a member if you want to do private calling. Now, what's unique about this device is you get little NFC tags that you get like this, for example. And what's nice about this radio is you can actually scan it on the radio, on the front of the radio. Now, where you use these radios is for security properties, where you can put these tags on the corners of the properties or at the factories. And then if you want to scan the actual tag live while the guard goes and does its perimeter walking and going to go check that everything's alright on the side, all he needs to do is press the PTT on the radio, scan the tag, and that information is sent through to the control software, which we'll be showing you a bit later on during the video. So this is called the Smart T529A. The functions that it's got Wi-Fi. You can connect it to Wi-Fi. It's got a panic button. It's got real-time GPS tracking, so you can check where the radio is up to 1 meter of its real-time positioning. Also, the radio has 1,600 channels. You can basically select it on the top here to go into any different channel that you require. The radio is very loud, so you can hear it in all type of environments, be it in a noisy environment or outside or at a construction site. So the radio is very unique about that. And now I'm going to show you how the charger looks like. So this is the T529 charger. What's nice about it, you can see it uses a USB. So most of the guys can use it either charging in the vehicle, where you can basically put it on the dash mount, or you can basically plug it into your AC 240 current. So what's also nice about it is just slips into the charger. As you can see, that's basically how it slides into the charger. So this is called the Smart T529A. On the next on our list is our top selling two-way radio. It's called the Smart PTT DS208. Now, what's unique about this device is it's got a visual panic button. So you can press it even at night or in the darkest times. You can be able to see the panic button. If you press this button, you hold it in, it basically sends a panic through to the software and to the other users, the other radios, alerting them that there's an incident on the property or anything like that. Now, the reason why this is our top selling two-way radio, this works on what we call WCDMA. Now, WCDMA is basically a GSM signal. Now, GSM signal is that you can work on H+, 2G, 3G, 4G, and an LTE signal basically. So we found that in certain areas like Ulundi, Empangeni, and really remote areas where you don't get really good coverage on cell phone, this little baby still works. The reason being is because it uses from the lowest cell phone GSM network to the highest frequency, to your LTE. So in places where you're only getting that little 1 bar or that little 2 bars, the radio basically connects onto that little 1 bar or 2 bar and you're able to communicate. So what's nice about this device is called the Smart PTT DS208. And we've got a lot of security companies that are using them at the moment and loving the device. The GPS tracking on this is up to 1 meter. Up to 1 meter. So what that means is you also got geolocation recording. So for example, your guard goes and walks around the building, or you want to see where your driver's driving to or walking or going anywhere, you can basically access that information using the Smart PTT software, which we're going to be showing through to you guys a little bit later in the video. So that's basically two top portable two-way radios at the moment. We've also brought in a couple of new units that are also top selling, which we're going to be showing you in our next video upcoming from today. But we're going to show you one of the devices that came through. It's called the Smart PTT T310. Now, what's unique about the Smart PTT T310 is that this is basically got a wider screen for the person to have a look at. You can do phone calls, you can receive phone calls, you can still do your panic button as it's got the SOS button on the screen there. And then what's also nice, you've got a big visual PTT as well. Now, only thing that you see different compared to our other devices is that the radio's got a camera at the back. Now, what's unique about it is this radio can also still do patrolling. So where you take the tag, you scan the NFC tags at the back of the radio, and it sends information back to your software where you can download a report and see which tags have actually been scanned by the radios. But because it's got a camera now, the new technology is using it like a body cam. So if your guard is using it and you're putting it on your bulletproof vest and the camera is facing out from the actual guard or from the armed reaction person, now what you're able to do is access the camera remotely without the guard or the officer knowing anything, open the microphone and see and hear what they're actually seeing and hearing. So this is actually taking off very well now in South Africa. Most of the security companies like the visual and like the opening the microphones, because now your security guard gets an incident and now the controller is able to see what your guard or your officer is basically seeing at the end of the day. So this is your smart T310. There's other devices called the S100 that have two cameras on both of the sides of the radio. So you're able to swap. So you can see the back camera and the front camera basically on the radio. And then we also got the S200, which is also coming up. Now what happens is the radios only use 49 Rand data on your normal entry level two-way radios. So what happens is you put the data on the first of the month and it lasts you 30 days. So how easy it is to do it is you just basically go into your cell phone, you basically log onto your banking app, and then you go choose Vodacom or MTN, whichever cellular provider you want to go for. Make sure you choose the data bundle, look for 350 megabytes of data, which basically costs you 49 Rand data here in South Africa. I'm not sure how much it's going to cost you overseas, but the device only uses 350 megabytes of data on your entry level for the entire 30 days. It doesn't use less than 350 megabytes of data, and it doesn't use more than 350 megabytes of data. Now your units that got the camera use a little bit more data to do the video streaming. The patrol radios also use the same amount of data as your entry level one, which is 49 Rand data. So you can still get the NFC tagging information, anything like that. So you don't have to pay extra to have the NFC tag sent to your software or anything like that with the data. Your video radios, like I said, use a little bit more data. So we've got some security companies using them at the moment, and they only use 80 Rand worth of data, which is 1 gig. So what happens is if we put this to low video, in other words, the quality of the video that you're basically streaming live from the device, you've got three options. You can do it low video streaming, which is a low quality, which is very good, which we'll show you a bit later. And then we've got medium quality, and then we've got high quality. Now we basically put it on medium quality, and for the entire month we only use 1 gigabyte of data to do the live video streaming from the device. Now if you want to use the device and continuously use the video streaming for the entire month, then you're looking maybe at about 2 gigabytes for the device, for the data. So where you start saving compared to your normal cell phones and your WhatsApp calls and your telephoning the people, right, is that these devices are what we call VoIP, Voice over Internet Protocol. Now what's nice about these devices is they basically connect to a server, which is based at our head offices. And what happens is, instead of looking for multiple servers like WhatsApp, which uses macro data to communicate across a wide spectrum of servers and therefore uses more data to connect to the different servers to get that message across, our radios only connect to one server. So immediately, as soon as you press the PTT button on the radio and you start talking, it immediately transfers it through to the other radios. It doesn't have to go through a lot of servers to find the user. It goes only through to one. So our latency is 0.5 seconds. So now when we're talking about latency, say you've got two radios next to each other and you say, Johnny, come in. You count 0.5 seconds and this guy will be able to hear you on this side. Now you'll be able to hear the latency if you're standing right next to each other. But when you're out in the field and you're further away from each other, when you start talking on this one, you won't even notice the latency because it's so low. Now what's nice about the radios, we spoke about the GPS tracking. The radios also got what we call voice recording. So what happens is every time you communicate from the radio from one device to another device, all the communication is recorded. And that is also accessible through the software. So the dispatch software, you're able to do panic buttons, receive panic buttons, receive panic buttons. You're able to communicate from the software to the radios and from the radios back to the software. You're able to do private calling. So if you want to call that one individual radio, then you're able to talk to one individual radio through the software. You're also able to do GPS tracking, where you can track the radio to track the radios up to 1 meter, as well as you're able to do patrol reports, patrol reports, and you're able to do video streaming. So what's also nice about this, all this information like the voice recording, the GPS tracking, and also the patrol records are all saved on the cloud for 2 months. So as long as you got your software open on your computer, it automatically stores it onto the hard drive on the computer, but also it's saved onto the cloud. So if you want to go back, say a month ago, and see what the radio's done, or get the patrol reports for the radio, or get voice recording or the GPS tracking, or send images, because also the new radios you can send an image to the control software, say like a gas pipe burst on site, or a window broke and the guard needs to take a picture and send it through to control room. These babies can also do it. So all that information is basically stored on the cloud for a month or 2. Now we're going to get to the more rugged other radios. It's called the base radios. So what's unique about these devices is you can use them as a base radio in your control room, or you can use them inside the vehicle. And these are also SIM card related. So what happens, these babies also use 49 Rand data. What's unique about the radios is you got your GPS tracking and you got your GSM antenna, and you can see the big powerful steel power cable. That's where your power cable plugs in, and then yes, also your different accessories over there. So what's nice about this is also connects to the GSM networks, and you're able to communicate radio to radio. It's also got the panic button over there, where you press the panic button, sends it right to the control room. So this is your entry-level mobile two-way radio. It's called the SEM 1000. Now with the SEM 1000, it's just straightforward push to talk and talk back to the control room. Now we've got a little bit of newer technology that came out. It's called the Enrico TM7. Now what's nice about this little device, does everything that the SEM 1000 does, but a little bit better. The reason being, it's got Wi-Fi and it's got Bluetooth. It's got a panic button, it's got GPS tracking, it's got GSM, it's got everything that a person wants to do in his car. So what's nice about the Bluetooth, you can connect the Bluetooth to the Bluetooth of the car, so you can hear it on the loudspeakers of the vehicle, or the FM radio speakers of the vehicle. Also, you can connect it to a Wi-Fi hotspot. Now, some security companies that do cash and transit have already built-in Wi-Fi into their vehicles, which have little cameras on their vehicles to be able to stream the cameras of the vehicle back to the control room. Now, this baby, you can hook up to that same Wi-Fi. Instead of using the SIM card to do the actual connection, you can use the Wi-Fi hotspot to connect the radio and talk back to the control room. So that's basically the TM7, the radio. Now, we've got different antennas for the vehicle two-way radios. This is the SEM 1000 antenna. So this is your GSM antenna. And then you've also got the GPS antenna that comes with the SEM 1000. Now with the TM7, it's got a little bit of a slighter design for the GSM antenna. That's how the GSM antenna looks like, and uses exactly the same type of GPS antenna. So that's basically a rundown on some of the units that we have at Smart PTT, and it's been great talking to you. If you guys have any questions or want us to answer any answers for you guys, more than welcome to send us your information and we'll get back to you. Have a great day. My name's Dave, and it's been great showing you guys about Smart PTT, who we are, and what we do. Have a great day.
Smart PTT. A smart and innovative communication solution ahead of its time.